I knew that I wanted your comedic timing and quick wit, like, is necessary.
I hope one day to bring it.
No, you do all the time, dude. Have you listened to the show?
Nah, it's garbage. I don't listen to it.
On this episode of the MacGuffin Guild, we're going to take some soy sauce and travel across time and dimensions and hopefully return as humans in John Dies at the End. This 2012 fantasy horror comedy directed by the legendary Don Coscarelli and based on the novel written by David Wong. Starring Chase Williamson, Rob Mays, Paul Giamatti, Clancy Brown, Doug Jones, and the icon Angus Scrimm. We're going to talk about the proper tomatometer pronunciation, Justin's Tom Atkins experience, the top 10 most common surnames in the world, and Pat's Wizard of Oz fan theory of this film. We'll discuss Dick Doorknobs and meat monsters, the guy's personal comic creations such as Flying Sheepman and Artie Racer, the rules for yet another MacGuffin Guild drinking game, and cousin Larry Appleton. We'll get into the passing of Angry Jim, offensive t-shirts, Jaws the book, Justin's phantom hair, and ask, what is the point? I'm Pat Doherty, and as always, I'll be joined by my fellow MacGuffins, Justin Jones and Mike Antonio. Our theme song was written and performed by Jordan Vincent. Just so you know, we're sorry for anything that's about to happen in John Dies at the End.
You better than this.
All right, here we are again, folks. Thank you for joining us here on the MacGuffin Guild. I am Pat Doherty, and I am here with the other MacGuffins. I have Justin Jones here with me running the technology. How's it going over there, Justin? You recording?
I'm giving it all. I'm giving it all she's got.
Well, that's good. There's wires everywhere, including coming out of Mike's ears. Mike Antonio is here with us. How's it going, Mike?
That ain't the only thing coming out of my ears.
Hey.
I don't know what that means, but there it is.
No, certainly not hair. No, maybe it is.
A little bit. Actually, there's a little bit of hair.
That's where it all went. He didn't lose it. Just
it migrated down.
Right into, escaped into the ears. Anyway, we are the MacGuffin Guild, and we are coming to you from the... Does this place have a name?
MacGuffin...
The MacGuffin...
The McHole?
The McHole? No. No, we could certainly do better than that.
McPit probably doesn't sound any better.
McPit.
Sounds like those weird part-time sandwiches like you get at McDonald's like every 3 years.
Yeah, it's like McPit. The McPit. Get it now while supplies last. Yeah. Oh my God. Anyway, we're coming to you previously recorded from the McPit. So
I guess that's gonna stick now.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. So the film we did today is John Dies at the End, which was directed, edited, and screenwritten by Don Coscarelli, who is also obviously well known for his Phantasm films.
Sure.
Correct?
Yes.
And Beastmaster.
And Beastmaster. And what else? I know there was more.
Bubba Hotep.
Oh, yes, Bubba Hotep.
What was the one we were talking about earlier?
Survival Quest.
Survival Quest.
Oh. So he's got quite the repertoire. Is that an appropriate word?
Sure. Okay. Why not?
So Don Coscarelli, yes. So John Dies.
I like how we're not even 3 minutes into it, and you snort laughed over nothing. It's gonna be a ripper.
That's what I do.
That was good.
So John Dies at the End was Justin's selection.
No.
Oh.
Plot twist.
Okay.
Now we both had this on our lists.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, that's right.
But we decided.
So Mike had selected it, and then Justin decided that he wanted to give it a little more time to breathe.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? So I have now viewed the film twice in preparation for this. I had never seen it before.
A MacGuffin first.
Yeah. It kind of is, yes.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I got that second viewing. So we'll get into my thought process and my first kind of perception of the film compared to the second time around. Yeah. There's a lot to dig into with this film, though.
There is.
Mm-hmm. And I'm hoping you have some answers.
This is why when I mentioned before I wanted to let it breathe a little bit, because there's a
lot going on with this film.
Yeah, I have plenty of questions.
I think critics call it chewy.
Is that what they say?
Yeah, I don't know what that means. I think it means that there's a lot to sink your teeth into, but it's not abrasive.
But does chewy mean Okay, because chewy could be a bad thing. Like chewy, it's like if a steak is too chewy, you're not getting the satisfaction in the end because it's like the chewiness kind of takes away from the.
Man, I will chew on a piece of steak for like 3 days, so I just keep it in my mouth and chew on it.
Oh
so
my God. But
I get like 3 days worth of enjoyment from it.
It's a new term I've been seeing around. I'm not sure how they're using it.
Well, no, I'm curious to know that though. Like if chewy is kind of if it's a negative.
I prefer the term beefy.
It's beefy.
Yeah. It's definitely layered. It's certainly like an onion. So on the tomato meter.
Mm-hmm. Thermometer.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Nah.
I've been saying it wrong all along.
Yeah.
Is it?
I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to put you on the spot, but you can edit this out. Yeah, it's a thermometer.
Well, thanks for waiting fucking 7 episodes.
I keep meaning to tell you at the end of each episode, and I forget because I'm
Well,
kind of
to be fair, I thought Pat was pronouncing it right.
No, it's probably, it's probably tomato meter. I don't know.
It makes sense to be thermometer.
Yeah. No, I honestly don't know. I was just joking.
Well, hold on. Now I got to look that up.
Thermometer. Thermometer. Thermometer.
Tomato meter.
There it is, tomato meter.
Tomato meter.
I mean, they're saying tomato meter.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. All right, so what's the rating?
Well,
on the
now I don't know.
Yeah.
Now I'm like
Just keep going with what you were
conflicted.
doing.
All right, hold on.
Has anyone corrected us on social media yet?
No.
Nope.
It's a good point. We're 100% accurate then.
All right. So here's on Reddit. Is it pronounced like 2 words, tomato meter, or is it phonetically pronounced thermometer, like speedometer? This has been plaguing me for a while now. I gots to know, man.
That's crazy. I didn't know that was a thing people were asking about. I thought I made that up.
So then this person, Bizem Mojo, says it's a meter for tomatoes. It's tomato meter.
That's
And then someone follows up and says, but speedometer is a meter for speed. So he has a good point. Now I'm curious because it's not a speedometer. It's a speedometer.
yeah.
Oh, God. No, I'm
Just
Completely.
just do your thing. Just say it how you want to say it.
Here's what we do. We record it both ways.
Yeah.
We look it up later, and then you just fill in whatever one
Well,
works.
dude, we're 14 episodes into this thing.
You just got to own it.
Oh, my God. So this guy, Alrighty321, he says it's pronounced Hodor.
For the win.
Oh, my God.
Just keep going with the tomato meter.
All right, hold on. I just gotta check one more.
I think it's just a personal preference. Doesn't really matter. It's a word that probably hasn't ever actually been said out loud.
Tomato meter. Tomato meter.
Yeah,
Yeah, tomato. I'll start saying tomato meter.
The tomato. That's it.
All right, so on the tomato meter or the thermometer, however the freak you pronounce that, I'm not so sure these days. But I think I'm going to stick with tomato meter because, you know, we're already how many episodes into this thing.
do your thing.
Okay, so on the tomato meter, it is anyone want to...
82. Critic review, 70.
Critic, yeah.
76.
Justin?
I'm going to say the same that he said.
60%.
Damn.
I didn't want to be wrong by myself.
On the audience score,
76.
out of 12,231 user reviews...
76.
No, Justin.
75.
Higher or lower?
Lower, 54%.
What the Freaky Friday?
Yeah. So let's
Freaky Friday.
let's give a range here.
Okay.
All right. It's a nice balance down here between the positives and the
That's what I like to hear.
Michael
Balance down here.
Michael O'Sullivan from the Washington Post.
Fake name.
I stopped taking. Why do you say that?
I just like to throw that out there sometimes.
There's multiple times you've said that, and I've wondered every time. God. Anyway, okay. Michael O'Sullivan, Washington Post. I stopped taking notes when the woman disintegrated into a ball of writhing snakes.
Okay.
These are just samples of their overall review.
I mean, okay.
Tom Long says director Don Coscarelli isn't especially smooth or coherent, and he leans on weird for weird's sake.
Nope.
That's a hard disagree on that one.
Yeah.
Renee Rodriguez from the Miami Herald. Despite its astronomical body count, John Dies at the End never takes itself too seriously, and neither should you.
Take yourself too seriously?
I don't know.
Or take...
So that here we go. Mike LaSalle from San Francisco Chronicle.
The Mike LaSalle?
Mike LaSalle, I guess. Yeah, he's the only one I know.
Is he related to?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not Mike. It's Mick.
Okay. I was gonna say there's no way that dude's doing movies.
Wait, is there a Mike LaSalle?
I don't know.
What?
What are the chances? No, it's Mick LaSalle. My apologies for the confusion.
Maybe
so,
they're related.
Mick LaSalle, he says, and I quote, "Nobody cares about John."
This is going to be a first two where I strongly disagree, but I really appreciate his review.
So Nicholas Bell from IonCinema.com says the best way to describe the whole ordeal is cheap.
Oh, eat a dick, dude.
Oh my God!
You can leave that in.
Here, there's plenty of negatives here. Brent McKnight, another negative. This is the last thing I see. He says, this could and maybe should have been something we'd rave about and line up to see at midnight screenings for years to come. So I'm guessing he's saying that it ended up not being that.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me go down to some users real quick. We'll get back to the positives in a second. But Stephen S., a super reviewer, says, hands down, one of the worst films I've ever seen.
Idiot.
Now, we're not one to judge.
Nah. Come on, man.
It's a compelling argument.
It's not.
He brings up a lot of really good points.
Yeah,
All
sure.
right, let's get to some positives.
How many movies has this guy seen?
Well, he's a super reviewer, so he reviews a lot of them. Doesn't mean he's seen them.
That's a good point.
Okay, Tom Known from Seattle Times says it eventually finds its own rhythm and meaningful chaos. Stephen Ray from the Philadelphia Inquirer says Salvador Dali meets George Romero. Say hello. It's an intriguing view.
I like the spirit of that review.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Kelly Jane Torrance from the Washington Examiner. This is a film for the young and the young at heart, and those who like their philosophy laden with a heavy dose of paranoia and oddity.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Charles Webb from MTV.
Ooh. MTV exists?
This is a great jumping off point if you've never been exposed to Don Coscarelli, one of the less seen indie horror directors out there. If John Dies at the End serves as the gateway for new films, then the movie will be twice the success it already is. So here is a audience review, which I thought was interesting. Anthony V, or it's Anthony 5 if he's using Roman numerals.
Anthony the Fifth.
He is a super reviewer. He says, remember how you ignored Donnie Darko and The Evil Dead, The Big Lebowski 2, movies until they became cult classics? Well, it's time to step up your game and get on board with a film before it has a perpetual booth at a Comic-Con. Original, hilarious, trippy, thought-provoking, and well done.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Going off topic a little bit, when he said that, it reminded me of something.
Mm-hmm.
And you were there. And you were there. You might not have. I think you were there. We went to Monster Mania. I forget what year it was. It was years ago. And, you know, you're kind of more into collecting the autographs and stuff, and I'm not. And usually Monster Mania happens around my birthday. So we were there one time. You're like, why don't you go get someone's autograph? Like, just go get an autograph. It's your birthday. I'll pay for it. And I'm looking around. I'm like, I don't know. There's Tom Atkins over there. Were you there for this?
I don't know if I was.
Okay. So Tom Atkins is over there. No one's at his booth. It's like completely empty. So like, yeah, we'll go over and talk to Tom Atkins. And we went over there and he's just kind of standing there. It kind of just seemed like he was just kind of like, what the fuck am I doing here? Kind of. But he was super nice. Like we're just being weirdo fans. Like, oh, can you sign this? And he's like, yeah. And he's like telling us cool stories about like
being on the set. And...
Not even that. It was about him, like, when he lived in some apartment by himself, and it was just he was working late or something. He would just come home as him and his cat, and he would roll up his cigarette packs and throw them to the cat, and the cat would play them. I don't even remember what spawned that. But he was just being very, like, generous, like, just trying to give us some stories. And he was a very nice guy, but he just kind of didn't feel like he wanted to be there. Fast forward I don't know, maybe 5 years or something. And there was this weird resurgence of John Carpenter films. Not weird because they're awesome, but like just out of nowhere, it was just.
It's like the next generation.
Yeah,
film.
it was like maybe it was around like Stranger Things when that music's coming back and all that stuff, and then people were getting used to I said and stuff, and then people, that vibe's coming back. So we could not get to this dude's table.
Oh, yeah.
There was like people wrapped around the block.
Wow.
It's good to see Tom Atkins, and but I'm glad because it looked like he was having the time of his life too, which I was really happy about because that last time I was like, oh, this is a bummer for this guy. He's such an awesome guy. He's been in so much great stuff too.
He has been, yeah.
Yeah, and so it like his review of that reminded me of that exact experience of like,
Yeah.
Feel free to cut that out.
No.
That was good. That was actually good.
All right. Well, that's it for this episode. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Good night, guys.
Join us next week
Yeah.
when we review more reviews.
Yeah. Welcome to another MacGuffin mini. We're eventually just going to be minis where we read some reviews and then that's fucking it.
But we like to spice it up. We'll read some of them backwards.
Yeah. Yeah. This film then, so obviously you guys have seen this film before.
Yes.
Sorry.
Okay, let me try that
I
again.
got a cold chill.
Jesus. So obviously both of you guys have seen this film before.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Countless times.
Countless. So you've almost certainly seen it more than either Mike or I.
Yeah, I've seen it like maybe a few times.
So Justin, you've probably double digits at least.
Yeah, easily.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so your initial, we can go around the room here. Let's start with Mike, because I feel like Justin's going to bring a little more insight. No offense, Mike. But
Oh, you're good.
what was your initial interpretation or reaction when seeing this film for the first time?
Well,
There I was.
I actually read the book first.
Okay.
So I was already...
And the book is called the same thing, correct?
Yeah, same
Sean?
title.
Okay.
Yes.
And now, actually, we should say the writer of the book was David Wong.
Correct, which is a pseudonym.
Okay, so do you know his real name?
His real name is...
Janky Bone Shoes.
David Wong is a pseudonym. His real name is Jason Pargin, Pargin.
Okay.
Also, he's not Asian.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
He got that name from a character from a short story he wrote, like one of his early short stories. He just took the name because he wanted to keep his family life separate from his writing.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
So are we like ratting him out right now?
No.
Okay.
He's completely out anyway.
Oh.
It's on Wikipedia.
But when he first started, he did it that way, and then he mentioned that he started getting like racist attacks for the David Wong name. Like people were attacking him.
Wait, what do you mean by racist attacks?
Like because he was Chinese, but he wasn't. But people started like...
Because it's a Chinese name of origin.
Yeah.
So people were thinking he was...
People were leaving like racist comments and stuff.
Like, because I'm assuming he's a white, he's a Caucasian individual?
No, they were assuming he was Asian.
No,
My
he's
question is he Caucasian?
Oh, he is. Yes.
So
yes.
people must have been saying, "Oh, what is the name Wong funny?" Or is this a joke?
No, but he's saying...
They didn't know that he wasn't Asian. They thought he was Asian.
Oh, he was getting Asian insults.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
as if he were Asian.
He was being... People were being racist toward him.
God.
Yes.
People attack everyone, man.
Yeah,
They'll find a reason to attack people.
But see, that's the thing, though. They would have attacked him the other way, too. If they knew he wasn't Asian and he
Right.
had an Asian name,
Right.
quote unquote, they would have said, "Oh, what are you trying to be Asian?"
And that probably did happen, but he did say that was just a character from one of his stories, so he just used the name.
Yeah, I like that he references that in the film itself, though.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
the character even says, "Oh, that's not my real name. I changed it."
Right. And he said it's the most common surname in the
world.
In the world, yeah.
Is that true?
I don't know. I actually don't know.
I'm gonna Google just that.
The most common surname in the world. But where was I?
You
going?
read the book.
I read the book first because I heard people talk about it, through the like writing community.
There was a buzz.
And stuff. Yeah, there definitely was a buzz about it, and loved it. Mm-hmm. It's so out there and so bizarre, and I think the film perfectly captures the spirit of the book if not every single thing being the same.
Wow. Okay.
There are changes, and there's sections that are completely cut out of the film, but it had to be.
Yeah.
Because the book is, I don't know how. It's not like a massive book, but it's bigger than the length of a film.
I was curious because I didn't read the book, and I wanted to, and I didn't.
I think you would enjoy it.
I think I would too, and I do feel like there's a part. Like, there's definitely... It feels like this movie is 2 parts.
Yes.
And it feels like there's a part in the middle that's just missing.
There is.
Like, story-wise, I feel like it's okay that it's missing because I can still, like, piece things together. But it definitely feels like... And we'll
it's
get...
there.
Yeah, we know... You know where it's at. And it just feels like, okay, we jumped from here to here.
Yes.
And now it's like... It's kind of... It feels like 2 bookends put together.
Yes.
Maybe 2 pieces of pumpernickel without the meats in between. Is that a good analogy now?
That's
perfect.
good, yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. That works. That's flawless.
I'm looking at a top 10 list of surnames in the world. Lee or Lee, so L-I or L-E-E is number 1. More than 100 million people with that surname.
Holy
Makes sense.
Christ.
Zhang, Z-H-A-N-G. Would you say Zhang or Zhang? Zhang?
Sure.
Shang?
Shang.
Shang?
More than 100 million people is number 2.
Damn.
Shang.
100 million?
100 million, that's what it says. Shang is among the most common Chinese surname. In the 1990 edition of the Guinness Book of World Records, it was listed as the world's most common surname.
Well, that's pretty current.
With over 100 million people worldwide with the surname. It was also ranked 3rd in the People's Republic of China by the Chinese Academy of Sciences in early 2006. The use of the surname dates back to about 4,000 years ago. But yeah, Li beats it out now, apparently. So that's number 2. Number 3, Wang. So number 4 on the list is Nguyen, which is spelled N-G-U-Y-E-N, with more than 36 million people. I know we're getting sidetracked here, but now I got to finish this list. Number 5 is Garcia, 10 million people. Number 6 is Gonzalez, 10 million people. Number 7 is...
both 10 million?
Well, it says more than 10 million. Hernandez, number 7, more than 8 million people. Number 8 is Smith, more than 4 million people.
Wow.
And but put that in context. So there's 4 million Smiths, but 100 million Lees.
Yeah.
Wow. Number 9, Smirnov.
Huh.
2.5 million.
Huh.
And number 10, Muller. M-U-L-L-E-R.
No shit.
Or is that Mueller? It has the little...
Umlaut?
Yeah, it has that over the U.
Mueller?
Mueller, number 10 with more than 1 million people.
So...
Mueller.
Wong is not even on that top 10?
Not even in the top 10, according to this.
So John Dies at the End is a liar.
Well, let's not go that far.
Depends when it was written.
True.
Okay.
It could have changed.
It might dropped off.
So anyway, so he wrote the book. Now, what were you saying about the book? They cut a lot out.
They cut it. They had to.
Yeah, which is understandable.
But they kept the same tone and everything, like, perfectly. The humor, the tone, the concepts of it, the themes and everything it's all there. So
okay, so could you understand the book?
Yeah.
So your follow-up question is,
like, when the book was done,
I wasn't left like, what the fuck did I just read?
Now,
No,
when you
not at
watched
all.
the movie, then did it give you a little more insight, or when you left the movie, was there like some confusion? And I'm asking.
No.
Okay, so
I read the book, and when I watched the movie, I was like, oh yeah, that's all there. Oh, but that stuff's not there. Like, it was like that. Like, I didn't have... There's nothing that I didn't understand or anything that I didn't understand.
okay, so we're gonna circle back around to that.
I'm assuming you feel like you missed something.
I feel like no, okay.
Feel like making love?
The answers were not laid out in a easily digestible presentation, I felt. But upon second viewing, I feel like I gathered more information,
Picked up some stuff.
Understood a little more, and I do have a theory of my own.
Well, that's the thing, because it is in film form. They had to condense it, so it's a lot denser.
So I guess what I'm wondering, and I want to get to your thoughts, Justin, here in a second, but I guess what I'm wondering about the book, like, did he summarize, like, the point?
In the book, dude, it was before the movie came out, so
Okay, we'll get back to that. So Justin, let me ask you. So you did not read the book?
No.
You only saw the film, and you've seen it multiple times.
Yes.
And I remember you saying before that, like, the beginning, like, you've watched the beginning a lot, because whether it be just...
Oh, yeah. Well, here's what happened. I watched this movie. I don't remember when. I knew it was Don Coscarelli. So I watched it. And I think I saw the trailer, and I thought this trailer looked great. So I watched it, I loved it. And then at the time, I was having the band I was in, we had band practice on Tuesdays. And then every Tuesday after band practice, I come home kind of tuned in and just lay on the couch and watch it. So I guess I should preface or fix what I said before and say I've seen the first half of it dozens of times. Because I usually fall asleep by the second half, but it was like almost like a comfort movie.
Yeah.
I'd come home, I'm relaxed, I just got done jamming, and I'd just put this movie on and just laugh until I fell asleep.
So what point typically would you kind of doze off? What point do you think is like the midway point of the film?
That's two different questions.
Okay, so to the first question, what point would you normally doze off?
Probably right around the time he meets Paul Giamatti.
So early.
No, not early. It's usually generally pretty early. Like, definitely when he's still explaining the build up to how they got to where they are. I would usually fall asleep around that point. Which I think the beginning of this movie is definitely the stronger half over the second half.
agreed.
So I wasn't too upset about missing the end. Sarah, I remember when we watched that, she was like literally laughing out loud at the beginning of the movie, and by the end of the movie, she checked out.
Oh yeah,
and she was done. But she's very she has very precise things that she needs. You know what I mean? Like, she's very critical of things, and if certain things aren't there, she's like, "Where I feel like I'm a little more," and that's not a slight towards her. I feel like I'm a little more generous where I'm like, look past this because I like this. So,
oh yeah, I look past things all the time because I like to. I just enjoy films, so I can look past a lot of things.
Yeah,
I know that's hard for some people to do. It's just natural. It's just your natural proclivities.
Well, that's one thing I always liked about you. Like, I think we talked about this before. Like, you'll just like, it's all about just enjoyment and liking things, and not like. I feel like you'll look deeper into things sometimes, but it doesn't always have to be this deep thing.
No,
like,
it doesn't
this is
always
just
have
something
to be.
I enjoy, and that's all that it is.
Yeah,
you know?
I enjoy the deep things as well, but I also enjoy just turning my brain off and watching something for 2 hours.
So I did like the way this film opened. I liked the riddle.
I love that. And the book opens
great.
the same way.
And that's a theme. Like, there's all these, like, kind of like, I don't want to say Buddhist, but kind of similar, like, these questions and these riddles that are kind of throughout.
But okay, so let's touch on that for a little bit.
Okay.
Well, I want to piggyback off that real quick with the opening riddle, and then I also like the riddle that Bob Marley says.
Robert Marley.
Yeah, Robert Marley. Says about the whole dream with the thunder and stuff. I love that.
Yeah.
That was great. Yeah.
So about the axe.
Oh yeah.
Was he right?
I don't know. I think that's the best. It's like, just like Buddhism. It's not about finding the answer.
So
it's more about the question, which brings me back to, not to cut you, but it brings me back to what you're saying before. Like, what is the point? And I think it's that kind of summarizes the movie. It's not about what the answer is or what the point is. It's about the question itself. It's about what's happening.
It's about asking questions.
Yeah.
So for anyone, well, hopefully you've seen the movie, but the axe is it opens with the riddle about the axe, where he's got this axe. The handle breaks, so he takes it, gets the handle.
Well, he chops off a guy's head with it.
Well,
first.
I wasn't going to go into all the specifics, but
I mean, that's an important part.
Yeah, it kind of is. He chops off a guy's head with the axe, and in the process of chopping its head off, the handle
breaks the handle, takes it back and gets the handle.
Yeah, it goes to like Home Depot or whatever.
Right, and then brings it back home with his new handle. And then he
chops up a fish creature or something when a fish slug.
And a big chip comes out of the blade.
The blade.
So he takes it back, gets the blade replaced.
And then this monster that he killed in the first instance
shows up again,
kicks in his door with his newly attached head,
and says, "That's the axe that cut off my head." But is it anymore? Because
he doesn't say that. The narrator then says.
No, the narrator says.
Is
that.
it?
is it? Is it the same axe? Because all parts of it have been replaced. But it's a weird question.
It's an awesome question.
Yeah, but and I guess we can go down a rabbit hole here, but is it like the soul of the weapon itself is still there?
Yeah.
Is it the spirit of it? And is that what the soy sauce and all that, going forward? Like, it's a lot. I mean, I don't want to turn it into something it's not and say it's like this deep philosophical thing, but also at the same time, I don't want to discredit it and be like, it's not a smart, intelligent thing wrapped around. I think they did a really good job of taking these really complex questions and making it silly and fun and digestible. There's a lot of different aspects you can attack this at.
The author, I forget his name already.
David Wong.
No, well, yeah, but his real name. But okay, we'll go with David Wong.
Well, he wrote it as David Wong.
He did write it as David Wong. But, he worked for Cracked.
Yeah.
Cracked.com. And, well, before that, he was writing this, almost episodically online. He was writing, he'd post a chapter a month or something like that. And, it, really took off. People were really into it. So that's how he started with this whole thing. So, obviously, then he went on to write for Cracked and everything. He's got the humor. This guy obviously is a humorist.
The film starts with the understanding right off the bat that this David character, this David character is sitting at a table and a woman in a restaurant, and a woman's walking by, and he counts and describes how many pieces of rice are on that plate.
Right. The restaurant was also called They China Food, by the way.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, okay. I feel like I want to get right to my theory.
Yeah, get right to it. We don't need to go point by point in the thing. People should have watched it by now. If you haven't watched it by now, just watch it and come back. We'll be here.
Spoilers
for you.
Spoiler alert right now in this moment. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, John dies at the end.
Yes. My theory, and I don't even know if it's a theory. I don't want to sell it as something bigger than it really is.
Would it be your interpretation?
Your thought string.
Yeah, interpretation, my guess.
Or what you got out of it?
What I think to be the case is that there is only...
Wrong.
There is only one scene in this whole film that we saw in reality.
Okay.
And that nothing else in the film happened quite the way we saw it.
Okay. I'm digging this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you guess what scene you think is the one that really happened?
Nope.
Tell me. The part when David goes to John's house when he's bugging out on drugs. Presumably on drugs.
No, I don't think that's it.
Oh, okay.
I think the scene I believe that is the only scene that really happened as we saw it was the scene when the band was playing, they were outside, and he met Robert Marley.
Okay.
Because what I gathered from that scene, if you pay attention to that scene, and maybe I'm overthinking it, there are elements to that scene that are clues to things that come.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So there's the phantom limb, obviously, is mentioned. You got the dog in the bite, which happens. You have the band is called Hair. Later on, he describes that the soy sauce grows hair.
Oh, I thought the band was called something else. It was multiple words, wasn't it?
Oh, I'm sorry. The song they sang. I'm sorry.
Oh, it was called Hair.
Yeah. I'm sorry. My apologies. The band was called...
Three Arm Sally.
Three Arm Sally. But anyway,
I love the lyrics to that song where they're talking about cannibal holocaust.
Yeah,
That's the chorus part or something. Yeah.
So they were singing Hair was the name of the song. So the hair comes into play. He says that the drug itself grows hair, and then not to mention the hair on the face of that security guard later that flies across the room. Just the general vibe of everything that happened in that scene. He was introduced to the Robert Marley character. You see John in the scene. You see the girl that has the arm, so the phantom limb plays into it later, but I have doubts if she was ever even really there.
Oh, you see almost everybody that's in the rest of the
It's almost like a Wizard of Oz situation where there's all these real people in her life, and then when she's in the dream world, she sees them in that reality, even though it's not reality. It's some kind of altered reality.
Okay.
So I feel like that was my interpretation of the film upon second viewing. I felt like that was the only scene that truly happened as we saw it. Everything else was just a twisted, drug-induced vision or...
I don't know. I think in this case, and having read the book, I think you might be reading too deep into it. I think it's more like literal, like it's actually happening.
I like that though, because that gets back to what we're saying about like it's more about the question.
Yeah.
The fact that you're thinking about that and breaking things down is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Because I never.
I mean, you could very well be
and
right.
I gotta be honest, like when I looked at it that way, I think I got a little more personal enjoyment out of the film.
Well, hey,
because the film itself is obviously very non-linear. It's bouncing all over the place, and I felt that was what I needed to hear or to believe in order to just kind of like let it go and just kind of take it for as it was coming at me. You know, maybe I'm wrong, but I felt like upon second viewing, when I was watching that scene again with that kind of theory in my mind,
knowing what you knew from the first,
I was trying to pick up on breadcrumbs or clues of things to come, and there was a lot packed into that.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was a pivotal point in the movie.
That does go back to something Justin said, where I can watch a movie without thinking too deep into it and just watch it. So maybe I missed that. You know, maybe you picked up on things that I didn't. That I don't know. Maybe it's there. Maybe it's not. I'm not sure.
I think this is the reason why I don't feel that way. Or maybe, wait, let me rephrase that. I think this is why I didn't think of it that way. I think watching Don Coscarelli's movies, everything feels like an adventure all the time. Like if you watch Phantasm, it's just an adventure. It's like these group of guys just going on an adventure. You watch Beastmaster, that's the clearest example
that's
of
the most literal adventure.
Yeah, it's a quest. You're going around, you got your animals, you know.
Speaking of quests, survival quest.
Survival quest. It's in the title, but I feel like everything's an adventure and everything's a quest and everything is like this. And I feel like that's usually a key element. And even though he didn't write this, but actually he didn't write Bubba Hotep either.
That's true.
I mean, he wrote this screenplay.
Yeah, but that was
it was based on a novel.
Joe Lansdale.
Yeah.
Which for those who love to read some Joe Lansdale. He's fantastic.
Nice. But yeah, I feel like he always has this sense of adventure, and everything's like just taking you on this adventure. And I think that was the point. Like, I think you're just following these guys, and you're going on this crazy batshit adventure with them. So, but I like that.
It's all you just take it at face value, almost like.
See, and that's what I guess my question to you guys is, especially Mike, who's read the book. A, am I overthinking it? And B, what... Okay, I still don't feel like anyone's given me... And maybe I'm not supposed to get an answer, and maybe that's the whole point. But is that the point? Like, what is the end game?
Pat,
and I'm not hating on this at all. I enjoy the movie for what it is, and I enjoyed it more so the second time around because I knew kind of what I was getting into. So I kind of prepared myself, and I just let myself go, and I went for it.
Well, there's also sequel books, so it might delve deeper, like more into stuff that I have not read.
So when you walked away from the book, and I know it's been a while since you read it, but when you walked away from the book, were you left with more questions than answers?
No. I think it was pretty... I just enjoyed the ride.
So what is the point?
I don't know. I don't remember. It's been so long.
So no one's answering my question.
So here's the point.
Look, if I watch a movie or read a book, I don't look for that. I just enjoy the ride.
It kind of goes back to something I think we said before we started recording about some movies like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake and the Friday the 13th remake where they try and put a moral message in it. Like not every movie has to have a moral message to have a thing. Where I feel like this doesn't have to have a one specific, all right, what was the point of that?
Yeah.
And again, I'm not trying to like come across as some kind of like, you know, like I'm trying to like raise my nose to this and be... What's the word? Pretentious?
Sure.
I mean,
that works.
No, I don't think that at all. But I think
I don't think that at all either.
I think what you're doing is you're describing the way that you watch movies and what you're
analyzing
the specific steps you go through, which we all have different processes we go through. And this is one thing I've noticed as I get older, that everyone has different methods of watching or just taking in different art forms and stuff. And that's why all three of us sit there and watch the same movie and can get three different things from it. Like, oh, I like it or didn't like it or, whatever. And then the more we kind of talk about it, like, oh, I see why he didn't see that. Or like that whole thing you just said about that whole scene. I never even saw that before, but I'm like, hey, that makes sense. But the way I view a movie.
And the next time I watch it, I'll probably like keep that, like that'll be in the back of my mind. I'll be like looking for that.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah. So that was, that's a whole different insight than what I was used to. I was like, wow, that's really cool. Like,
but that goes back to the writer being a comedic writer. He may have just been, there may not have been a point. It may just have been like an anti-point almost, because
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Well,
like,
I think even if you don't want to look at my Wizard of Oz analogy, if that's the word, analogy, comparison,
comparison, analogy.
Yeah, analology, tomology.
Pat knows all about that analology.
Tometer.
What the fuck is happening?
Thermometer.
Tomometer.
Tomameter.
Yeah, no. So
anus meter.
Even if you, anus meter. Even if you don't want to look at my, even if you don't want to look at my Wizard of Oz comparison, I think you have to agree that in the vein of Pulp Fiction, that scene is the scene that literally happened first. I don't think any other scene in this movie happened after that scene.
Yep. That was the first.
Because the movie started with him already being in it, and then we got flashed back to that scene.
Because at that party, they're just regular guys.
Yeah.
They don't know shit about shit.
It hasn't started yet.
They're fresh out of high school, he says.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so that's my theory. So, I mean, you guys can,
let us know your theories.
Chew on that.
I mean, the movie's about doing drugs and seeing crazy shit.
Comment on our social media and let us know your thoughts.
We're on Discord. Check it out.
Yeah. We are also on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Oh, shit, we are?
Find us, yes.
I thought we were just on Discord.
MySpace, yeah.
Grindr.
Is that
Isn't that a dating thing?
I think it is.
Dating, dating, or just like
Tinder? Like a hookup thing.
Oh, hookup thing. Is Tinder the hookup thing?
I think Tinder's
I think it's a hookup hookup things for dudes.
Oh, Grindr is a hookup thing for dudes.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
You're right.
Mike acting like you don't know.
Oh, I know.
I'm just kidding. All right. So the dick doorknob.
This door cannot be opened. Or that door? Is it this or that?
That door cannot be opened.
He like points at it. That's in the book. That whole scene is pretty similar.
Yeah, so never in my notes did I think I would have dick doorknob right above meat monster, and it makes sense.
It's all coming together now.
Like that meat monster.
So let's talk about some of this cast. So we got Paul Giamatti.
Yeah. Who was also instrumental in getting the film made.
Yeah, executive producer. But
he was like gung-ho.
Was he?
Yeah.
So you know that for a fact that he was like...
Yeah, he was a fan.
Fan of the book?
He told him over brunch.
Yeah.
Which, so was Don Coscarelli. He immediately bought the rights.
At the same brunch.
Nice. Clancy Brown.
Clancy Brown,
Right.
of course.
Oh, Justin, did you have a point?
No, I just want to hit
Falcone.
Paul Giamatti's amazing. Clancy Brown, iconic, legendary, awesome, of our generation specifically. Too.
I actually think he's underused in this movie. Like,
yeah,
I could have used more of him.
Yeah,
and then
he has more to do in the book.
I kind of got that vibe too. Yeah.
And then the one and only Angus Scrimm. Angus. Okay.
Angus.
Angus Scrimm.
The one and only.
Angus Scrimm.
Let me try that again. The one and only Angus Scrimm. Jesus fucking Christ. Hold on, give me a minute.
Whom?
All right, here we go. The one and only Angus Scrimm.
Oh yeah,
is in this.
Thank you. You got it right.
Oh God! So you fucked it up. Now I got to.
No, you can cut that part out.
Can I?
Yeah, I waited.
Yeah, fuck that. Yeah, cut that part out where you say his name right. I don't like it. It's bland.
So the one and only Angus. My fucking God.
Angry Jim. Who?
The one and only Angry Jim. That's all I'm going to be able to think of for now and until eternity. When I think of Angus Scrimm, I'm going to think about Angry Jim.
Angry Jim.
That's not even his real name, by the way.
It's not. Yeah.
What's his real name?
Oh.
Angry
Jim.
Angry Jim.
I forget. It's not Angus.
Angus. See, now I got you all fucked up.
Angus Scrimm.
Angus Scrimm. All right. So when I Googled Angus Scrimm real name, it came up with For Real.
It's his real name. For real.
It's all about discovery.
Why don't you just go to Wikipedia?
All right. Hold on.
Oh my God. I'm going to find it in 3 seconds.
If only there was some kind of like internet
Wait, this
movie
is awful.
database. Or
How did
something.
Angus Scrimm die?
Yeah, he's dead.
He died?
He was like 97.
He was born in the 1800s, dude.
He was 89.
Didn't you see Phantasm?
I didn't know he died.
Lawrence Rory Guy.
That's right. That's him. I could get that. If it's multiple choice, I would have nailed it.
Yeah, he was 89 years old.
I didn't know he died.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We'll send flowers. I'm sure they'll still be appreciated.
He only died 4 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Almost
All right.
5.
I don't feel as bad.
Almost 5 years
Was
ago.
it during the filming of Ravager?
Because
I think he's in parts of it, but he's like not.
It was either
looking
during
good.
or right
Yeah.
after, but he was like really sick
Yeah.
at the time.
Was he? When they filmed it, he was sick?
He was like frail, and I don't know if he was like had an illness, but I'm like
Fact check that, nerds.
Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, Angry Jim.
Angry Jim.
R.I.P. Angry Jim. Dude, that is a bummer though, because Angus Scrimm. I told you he's on my. He's my number 5.
R.I.P. Oh my God. I'm gonna write that
What
down.
was his name? Earthworm Jim?
R.I.P.
Get out of control. But yeah, he was my number 5 on my horror icons. Remember Tall Man?
Yeah. I remember.
Dude,
We do remember. It
and
was
he's-
like last
yeah.
week.
No, it's not.
I don't
gonna
remember
Be,
driving here today.
it's not gonna be last week by the time this episode.
Well, oh, yeah, well, I meant when we recorded it.
Cut that out. He's ruining the illusion.
So here's what I would like to do.
Talk about the movie.
Because this film, there's a lot to absorb and swallow in this film. So
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me cut you off real quick. You didn't mention Doug Jones.
Oh yeah, Doug Jones. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, another phenomenal actor.
Out of makeup for a rare occasion.
Yeah.
Also, I want to mention David and John. Not so much John, because I haven't seen him in much other than this. But I thought he was amazing in this. I thought he
Yes.
was like, I can't imagine anyone else to play this role. Like,
Do you know what else I saw him in?
What?
Deep Blue Sea 2.
Oh, I didn't see that.
That movie sucks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How was he in it?
He's fine. He plays like the Thomas Jane type character. From
I could see that.
The original,
He's kinda has a
He's like
bit
in a
of a Thomas
wetsuit the whole
Jane.
movie.
But he was great in it. Like his little smirks and his
great.
attitude. He was. I can't imagine anyone else. And also Chase Williamson that plays David. I fucking love this guy.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, you know me. Like I love like all my favorite like icons and stuff. Are like I always say icon all the time. All my favorite like movie guys and stuff are all from like the 60s, 70s. I got like even
Charles Bronson.
30s, Charles
You
Bronson.
can
I'm a
listen to
huge
that.
fan.
You can listen to that MacGuffin Mini.
Yeah, good plug by the way.
No problem.
So, and there's like newer stuff I'm not into. Everyone looks the same. Everybody's the same. I can't really like. I don't really give a
Yeah.
shit. I really like this guy a lot. And everything I've seen this dude in, he's funny. He's very subtle too. Like his mannerisms, everything.
And I think this was his first film role. I think he was like right out of like college, like acting, whatever school he went to.
It might be. If not,
I'm
it's
pretty sure it is.
If not, it's one of his first. Because I remember looking on IMDb. Actually, I got it right here. Let's check it out.
But I know he was in Victor Crowley.
Yeah,
the fourth.
Oh, was he?
The fourth Hatchet film. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in Beyond the Gates, Victor Crowley.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Beyond the Gates. Yes.
Yep, he was in
with
that.
Barbara Crampton.
Yeah, and he was really funny in Scare Package, I thought.
I didn't
Did
see that.
Okay, yeah, he's really funny in that.
I want to see that.
And
I didn't know he was in that.
I looked on IMDb, and I swear I saw him in something else, and I can't find it, where I thought he was really funny.
Man, he's got 46 credits. That's surprising.
Holy shit, already?
There's a lot of short films on there. But dude,
Oh, yeah, I like him.
if you make movies, put this guy in your movies. I love this
But I
guy.
also like the guy that plays John. I think,
put him in more movies.
I think
too.
he's like got a lot of charisma.
Oh yeah, I loved him as like the when he was doing the punk song or whatever.
Yeah.
Like he was just over the top.
Oh, sure.
Wait, did he do he did a voice in Ant-Man?
Yeah, I saw that additional voices
What
or
is
something.
that?
Who did? Which one?
Dave.
Really?
He's credited as additional voice in Ant-Man, like the Marvel.
Interesting. So he's part of the
Marvel
Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, he pretty much is.
Wow, I didn't know that. That is very intriguing.
Oh, he's in Sex Boss.
I don't know what that is.
It's a short.
Oh, David Hartman's a spider victim. He's probably the one that they freeze frame on, and then go to the animation.
Oh, the guy that
Oh, yeah.
the guy that directed Ravager.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who works with
Phantasm-
Coscarelli
yeah.
a lot. I like that.
Yeah.
Ooh, what's his name again?
Who, David Hartman?
David Hartman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the animator
Oh, he animated it too?
For that
for the
segment.
segment.
Man, that dude's
Yeah.
a triple threat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this goes back to the whole spirit of stuff we talk about with like just fun on the set and like people reusing people because they're fun to work with and stuff. And stuff. I'm gonna keep calling myself out on that. God damn.
I didn't
we
even
should do
notice-
a drinking game every time I say and stuff.
I didn't even notice it. Just like, you know what? Okay, here's the drinking game for anybody listening. Anytime Justin says and stuff, drink. Anytime Mike says, for those who didn't know, drink. Anytime I say, it makes you wonder, drink.
Your guys' things are cool. Mine just makes it sound like I'm just stalling because I can't put words together in my head.
I don't know. Mike with his, for those who don't know.
For those who don't know, I say that a lot.
But that's kind of like his like Arnold Schwarzenegger's "I'll be back."
Oh,
though.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like when Mike's laying there on his deathbed.
Pat, another one you say a lot is, my point being.
Do I say that a lot?
Yeah.
For those who don't know, the
My point being-
diagnosis was incorrect.
No.
That's like Mike's famous last words.
Yeah, Mike will be like, for those who don't know, I'm dying.
For those who don't know.
Anyway, yeah, so that's the new drinking game. Oh, so what do I say a lot, you said? My point being? My point being, before I get to my Pat's points, which, by the way, Justin, I don't know if you can see my notes here. It's a shit show on this piece of paper.
Yeah, I can tell you're a David Fincher fan because that looks like a prop from Seven.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of does. So this is what I want to ask you guys before I start going down my points, being as you guys have a larger history with this film. I would like for you to each take a little bit of time to kind of dive into things you've gotten out of the film, things you appreciated, things that jumped out at you, anything that is noteworthy in your eyes. And we'll start with Justin, then we'll go to Mike. So
Okay.
Justin, is there any noteworthy things you want to touch on, anything that you appreciated, you like, you want to share?
So I kept my notes very slim on this because I find what I do is when I watch something I like, when we did Houseu, I noticed I did this. If it's something I really like, I'll start going down the rabbit hole and just start collecting all this information,
Right.
all this stuff, and then no one gives a shit. You can look that up on the internet. So I kind of tried to keep this as slim as possible, just so we can kind of riff off it and just kind of like, be a little more spontaneous with it. What?
Why are you laughing? What the fuck?
Started laughing at R.I.P. Angry Jen. Justin, look, I love you so much, Justin. You're fucking zingers, man. They stick with me, and then they just like sprout up randomly. I'm sorry, because you were just trying to get your thing going. I'm sorry.
No,
I
it's all right.
apologize.
If I can bring joy to one person,
Angry Jim.
It got me, man. And it's, you know what it is too.
There he is there.
You know what it is too? It's when, this was a bit of a freaky scene how
yeah.
they did that. That was fucking cool. You know what it is too?
There's a lot of cool camera stuff in this.
It's like hearing you talk, like, because you're up in my ears.
yeah,
you
I'm
know?
up in shit.
And when I hear your voice, like and this is a compliment to you, I associate your voice with just laughter. And I don't mean that as an insult.
That's an honor. Thank you very much.
You make me laugh
Yeah,
in a
hell yeah.
positive, healthy way. And just sitting back. I was just trying to be in the moment, listen to you tell your thing.
I'm fucking thinking about
And then I just got hit with R.I.P. Angry Jim. I couldn't do it. I'm sorry. Okay, so take it from where you think you were, and I'll try to fucking.
No, thank you. It was a huge honor. Because that's what I like. Life sucks. Let's face it.
Yeah.
And if we could just any kind of enjoyment we can get out of it, let's just fucking do it.
Yeah.
So if I can make
agree.
someone laugh, just do it.
Well, we're at least making each other laugh.
Yeah.
So if others are laughing with us, then
Please
or
do it.
at us, whatever.
or at us. Yeah.
Or if you have to laugh at us, don't you know?
Yeah.
So I'll hit my basic thing is I have some quick points I just wanted to blow through. I don't even know what I was writing here. I wrote riddle, and I think that was to be like I like the fact that this show we already touched on that with the things. They China food, which I thought was great. The name of the thing. Meat Golem, I just wrote down.
Oh yeah.
Squee? Why did I write squee? Oh, I think something was it when the meat golem exploded or something? Something went squee. And that's like one of Sarah's ultimate favorite sounds of all time when something goes squee. So, or whatever. We can cut that out. And also there's a part where the dude Justin White, when he gets when he gets consumed by all the little white bugs, which is a really interesting villain. He's like, yeah, you can call me shitload because there's a shitload of us in here.
Yeah.
I like when he goes, I'm listening, shitload. Like, I just thought that was funny. I like that they, like, refer to him as shitload. I like when...
That's from the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I like. I just like the fact that like he has the bratwurst to his head, and he's like, "You couldn't just tell me that anything." And he's like, "Oh, that bratwurst cost you $3." Like, I love the whole bratwurst thing. I thought was hilarious. And then later, when like it shows them in the alternate reality or whatever, where I don't know,
Canonized.
Thank you. Where it has like John. I think John's doing something super cool, and it just shows Dave holding the fucking bratwurst to his head.
Oh yeah.
And like the stained glass.
Oh yeah,
thing.
and doesn't Dave? I'm sorry, John has a huge package.
Yeah, I think he has like a huge package and is doing something really cool. And
he's playing guitar.
Yeah, he's playing guitar, and Dave's just holding a bratwurst to his head. I thought that was funny.
Great.
And then I just wrote down Paul Giamatti was an executive producer, which I didn't know all the times I watched it until this one.
Oh wow!
And I wrote down some of what's his face is
Chase Williamson.
Chase Williamson. So I had a pop up on my computer, threw me off.
Pornhub.
Chase, they constantly keep harassing me. I don't know how much more money I have to give them a month.
So, if you could summarize this film, now I know, I know that you've got. It's kind of like it had a special place in your heart. Like it was just kind of like your safety blanket for a little while. Maybe that's a little much, but you kind of went back to it multiple times. It was like kind of a comfort thing to kind of put on. In the background, what was it specifically that kind of like resonated with you with this film? What do you think, if you could encapsulate that in like a sentence to a paragraph, what was like...
I couldn't do it in a sentence. A paragraph maybe. The thing is, it's a perfect storm of a lot of stuff that's kind of going on in my head. Like, I love the absurdity of the adventure, but still having context below the absurdity, which is always like a theme that I like. I like just the wild ride that you're going on. I like the whole like the depth of what they're dealing with. It's like two guys that all of us know. Everyone knows these two guys. They're everywhere. You know what I mean? It's the average fucking like, you know, they get out of high school, they don't know what they're doing. The one guy's in a band, like, you know, just, and these guys are all like on a multi-dimensional, multi-planetary level at one point by chance. You know, I love that. I love just the crazy wackiness of it without just being, I feel like, and I bring this up all the time, and I can't figure out what the difference is between sometimes when something's weird, it's just like feels fake and weird, like the one description said. Other times it feels like it's very,
like organic,
organic, and just like there's a reason behind it. Anyway, so there's that, and also I don't know what the proper term is, but the quote unquote gonzo journalism type thing where you're putting yourself in the story,
Hunter S. Thompson,
like the Hunter S. Thompson thing. It reminds me of a time when I was in middle school. There was a kid, I don't remember his name. I was friends with him for a brief period of time because it was before I moved to the school district we were all in. And when we first moved to Maryland and all that, I was in another school, in middle school for 2 years somewhere. And I met a friend that lived down the street from me. His name was Dan. I don't remember his last name.
The man.
But he was super cool, man. Like, he was my age, but he was like gargantuan. He was he was huge. He looked like an adult. He had a mustache in middle school. And but man, he like turned me on to all these really cool movies. It was the first time I saw a Betamax player. Like, he had a Betamax.
Holy shit!
player.
I've never seen one.
Yeah, he had one. We used
Not
to,
in person.
Yeah, he had these like Betamax movies. He would draw a lot, and I used to like to draw a lot. And he turned me on to, like, he used to draw all these ninja comics with him as the character. It was like, oh no, here comes Dan or something. And I never thought to do that. So then I actually still have comics I wrote or like drew and stuff from middle school where I took that idea and was like, oh, that's kind of a cool idea, putting yourself in the thing. So that whole putting yourself in the story.
Stephen King did that in The Dark Tower.
Can I ask you a question, Justin?
People hated it, except for me. I liked it, but
Do you want to know what one of my favorite comics that you ever drew was?
Yes, I do want to know.
Okay, so this is, again, we're not done talking about the film, but just to kind of set this up, because it's my job. What we do here at the MacGuffin Guild, as many of you know, a MacGuffin is a plot device used to drive along a story in film.
As you may know.
Yes. So we like to use the film itself as a MacGuffin to drive along our conversation. My question to Justin is what comic strip he drew back in the day, or at least what comic book character he drew back in the day, that I would like to say I was a little bit involved in, that I like.
I remember now.
I don't think I know.
Actually, I think I still have drawings of that.
Yeah.
Like my character and your
character. I think you texted me somewhat recently over the last couple years. You texted me.
Yeah.
So we both created characters back in the day. Was this high school? I don't even know.
I think it was like junior high to high school or something. Yeah.
I created my character. I feel like your character you created afterwards, because I feel like I was in the class when you came up with the concept for your character.
I don't remember the
Okay, so here's what I think happened. I created a character back in the day called Flying Sheet Man.
I knew it.
Yeah. So Flying Sheet Man.
I was going to bring that up, saying that was my favorite of your characters.
So he literally is what you think he is. He like had the long hair. I don't know. He kind of looked like Fabio, but he wore a sheet, and
it was like was it a mullet?
It was kind of like a mullet.
It was kind of a cholo.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
So, but he wore a sheet and he could fly, but his ultimate goal in life was to extinguish the sun.
Mm-hmm. That's his mortal enemy was the sun.
And he started to realize that his best route to getting to the sun was at night. So anyway, long story short.
Genius.
Yeah. But anyway, so I created this character, Flying Sheet Man. So you and I had an art class at one point in time in school. I don't remember what year, but we were there. I was there for the creation of this, because what happened was we were in art class and there was an eraser that, I don't know if she likes, our art teacher supplied erasers to all of the tables, and I think she wrote the word art on them so they weren't stolen from art class.
Yeah, it was an art eraser.
Yeah. So Justin took the word art, or the words art eraser, and turned it into a character named Artie Racer.
Yeah. It was kind of like a speed racer type. Like, he was just a race car driver, but got into like all kinds of like.
But
crazy...
he had like a helmet with like a face shield on it, right?
Yeah.
And wore like.
I've never seen this character.
But Justin and I then drew almost like what you would see like in a UFC like fight kind of like poster.
Like fist up and
fist up, looking at each other.
Like a face off.
Yeah, like a face off, and it was Flying Sheet Man going head to head with Artie Racer.
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Artie Racer, huge fan of the sun.
Huge fan of the sun.
Pat,
pick a side.
Do you remember we were doing those army characters?
I remember. I still look for those.
Really?
And I can't find them. Nope.
We were going to do like a comic strip of these like.
It was almost like MASH.
Yeah, they were like ridiculous, like this like little army base that they were gonna be at. I don't remember the details.
That reminded me of another character I made. I don't know if you ever see one. I had this this other character I had, and he had like basically he was like a soldier. He had like camouflage pants, helmet, like the green army shirt, and he had this like special gun that he kept on like this like kind of Han Solo hip thing. It had like this real wide round barrel. And but he had like a Ninja Turtle mask on, like over his eyes. And I used to draw him all over the place. I still have drawings of him, but his name was Annie.
Annie?
Yeah. And I don't know, because I was in class one time, I was drawing all the time, and
Like Anakin?
it was just Annie, because Janine...
I know, but they called him Annie.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what to name him, and Janine was like, just call him Annie. So he became Annie.
Nice.
I never drew anything because I'm terrible.
So do you want to know some other characters that I created back in the day? Do you remember them?
Static, what was it?
Cling?
Static Man or...
Oh, yeah, I remember him. He had like a TV
for a head.
Yeah.
It just had static on it.
He was kind of he was just a like...
Yeah, I know. He was
a background character.
That was for Flying Sheep Man.
Yeah, he was in that whole thing. Did Flying Sheep Man, did he have a sidekick? I don't remember.
I don't know.
Okay, but my big one, the first characters I ever created, maybe you guys have never heard this before. Okay, the main guy, Bobby Brave.
No.
Have you ever heard of Bobby Brave?
No.
Yeah, I drew Bobby Brave, and I could draw him right now if you wanted me to. He had funky hair. I have a thing for hair.
Draw him right now for the people at home.
But then his sidekick, do you know what his sidekick's name was?
I thought you were going to say, do you know what a sidekick is?
No. Yeah, for those who don't know, a sidekick... No, his sidekick's name was Bloat.
Oh.
And Bloat was a little goblin-looking character.
So Bobby Brave and Bloat.
Bobby Brave and Bloat, and they were my first characters. And Bloat was a little goblin-looking creature that wore like a metal helmet, and he would keep on his his belt a potion, and whenever he would drink this potion, he would expand in size. Hence his name, Bloat.
Oh yeah.
And I created and drew them back in. God, I was still in Philadelphia.
I was going to say.
Oh wow.
So I was like
never heard of
between 8 and 10 years old.
Holy shit, dude.
I drew them. So
That's wild, man.
Bobby Brave
Really
and
makes you
Bloat.
think.
Yeah. So anyway, I never did anything with them, but
Maybe
I liked the character Bloat. I thought he was... Bobby Brave could have probably been revamped.
Listening and is interested in doing a comic.
Yeah, I probably could have revamped Bobby Brave.
Yeah, hit us up on Discord, man. We'll
Make some magic happen.
yeah.
So anyway, yeah, I don't remember that other character that you drew, Joseph.
And yeah, I drew him a lot. There was a couple I had. There was another one that was kind of like part of the Artie Racer
Universe.
It was Speed Demon, which was another one, and he had kind of like old like hot rod, like old 50s hot rod, and he would sit there and he had a helmet, like a race car helmet, but he had these huge like ram horns.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you continued to create characters for that world, even though I feel like I was there for the birth of that.
Every once in a while, I would just like, because I started one. It was called Race Day, and on the opening panel where it had all the stuff, it had which I thought was kind of funny. It had like penciler, writer, and it was all my name under all of them. But it was like an aerial view of all the cars like ready for this race that Artie Racer was in. But if you look, it had like Ecto 1 in it.
Okay.
And, like, I'd probably be fucking sued if I ever did it for real. But it had like the Batmobile, like there was all these other cars. If you really look, because there was a ton of cars.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think the Jetsons car
I didn't
was
know
in there.
you ever expanded it to anything more than just the initial character.
Yeah, dude, I had all kinds of stuff. I had Lumberjack, who was just some big lumberjack looking dude. I don't even know what his thing was. He just drove around a truck. I had another dude named Afro Man.
Wow.
Who just he had like this. It was like a white guy with a big afro, and he was just this chill dude that would just hang out at parties.
That's funny.
Kind of like a Matthew McConaughey dude, and he would just pull stuff out of his hair that people would need.
You have that. You clearly have that Artie Racer Flying Sheep Man.
I think I have it. I have a lot of this
picture
stuff
somewhere because you texted me within the last couple of years. I would love to get. I just looked through my phone. I don't have it in there anymore, so we got to get a copy of that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. In fact,
that was a cool trip down memory lane of these characters and stuff.
Yeah, it was.
I had there was a weird time, like, as I got a little older, like 14, or probably like 15 or so, when I started getting into death metal. I had another character called the Pickaxe Murderer, which was based on, like, a Cannibal Corpse song. And it was just, like I'm surprised I didn't get institutionalized in high school, because I was just drawing pictures of this guy. Like, he basically had a ski mask on and like a big like jacket with like the fur thing. And it was just pictures of like him like covered in organs and like decapitated heads and stuff like that. It was really weird, but yeah, different times. Then you can get away with it. That's why I tell people all the time. Like, I remember in high school. I don't know if I mentioned this here before, but I remember I had a there was a dude in high school that had a Winston Cup Series shirt on. Did I tell you this? Had a Winston Cup, which was sponsored by the cigarette company Winston. They made him wear his jacket all day because it had like Winston Cup series on it.
Geez.
And I remember wearing my Cannibal Corpse Butchered at Birth shirt, which basically, I don't know if anyone like knows Cannibal Corpse. Like the cover of the shirt is like these two ghouls like dissecting a woman with a bunch of like fetuses on hooks behind it.
And it's like super gory.
Yeah, it's super gory. And then on the back of it, it's like basically just a baby skeleton. And it just says Butchered at Birth, and it never say anything. And then I had another Cannibal Corpse shirt. It's the Eaten Back to Life one.
Oh, wow.
Or no, not Eaten Back to Life. It was Tomb and Mutilated.
Okay.
Where it has like the like eviscerated woman like laying like this with another ghoulish looking creature like, how do you say,
In the area?
doing the cunnilingus
Oh.
on her. And I wore that shirt to school all the time.
Wow.
And they didn't say anything?
Never, not once.
Wow.
And I had, they were probably like, yeah, let's just let this, we got 2 more years. Let's just fucking hope he gets out there and out of our hair. I had like I had a Guar shirt one time, and on the back it said, when the shit hits the fans.
Oh.
And I do remember my Votech teacher came up one time. He's like, when the fit hits the shans. And I was like, yeah, dude. Guar rules. I don't know. I think he just said something stupid.
Did he make you turn it inside out? Or?
Nah, he was all right.
No.
That's funny how times have changed. I remember the movie Heathers. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
He brings a fake gun to school.
Yeah.
It's like, holy crap. You can't even bring like a water gun or anything to school anymore.
Oh, no.
You're out.
Yeah, you can't even bite a Pop-Tart into the shape of a gun without kicking out.
Yeah.
Some kid get kicked out of
Yeah.
school for
Yes, that happened.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the movie now. So I want to talk to Mike a little bit about your, so having read the book and then your initial, kind of what you got out of the film when you first watched the film itself. I want to just tap into that a little bit.
Well, my initial opinion of the movie is different than it is now.
Okay.
Was different than it is now.
Okay.
Yeah. So I read the book. I love the book. I had heard people kind of hyping it up and stuff on social media, and I was like, man, I gotta read this book. Everybody's talking about it. They're saying like it's hilarious and weird and cool and blah blah blah. So I checked out the book. Thought it was great. And then the movie came, and I was already aware that the movie was coming out by this point. Like, it was already made, but it hadn't been released yet. So that also built my excitement. I knew Don Coscarelli directed the film, and I was already a fan of his. I like the Phantasm movies, but I don't love them. Like, I know Justin, that's like the first one is like...
Oh yeah, the first Phantasm, and not to shit on the other ones, but the first one, Phantasm movie, is about hands down one of my favorite movies of all time.
And I like it quite a bit. It's not... I wouldn't say I like it as much as you do.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch it.
Okay, well,
I mean that.
No, don't. I'm coming from a very specific place, so I don't want you to watch and be like, yeah, this is one of the greatest movies ever. And you watch it like, what the fuck?
No, I wouldn't
definitely,
do that.
dude. I'm not going to get into it because he's in the middle of his thing, but fuck him. Here, I'm going to get into it. So, no, I'm
Hold
just
that
kidding.
thought. But no, go on, Justin. Hold that thought, Mike.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to get into it, but it's definitely, it hits a lot of things. It's like, I feel like it's hard-coded.
It's tailor-made for you?
I feel like I grew up, like my entire life, I feel like it's like hard-coded into me. Like
You
I
and
should
Mike
like this.
Lombardo would have a field day talking about that, because that's
Really?
one of his favorite movies.
Oh, really?
If not his favorite movie, yeah.
It's funny too because my friend Bruce, like, he loves the second one,
Okay.
and I remember when I saw the second one, I was like, fuck that movie, because it wasn't the first one. And then after talking, and this is part of like what we do, like we talk about things. After he told me what he
talk
liked
it out.
about it, I watched him like, the second one is pretty good. I mean, I'm still more of a fan of the first one. He's more of a fan of the second one, but I kind of more see his.
I like them all to varying degrees, but none of them touch the first one. Definitely,
in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
And is it James LeGros? He's in the second one?
He's in the
James
second one.
LeGros
Yeah.
is in the second one. Yes.
So, but anyway, so I was already aware of the Phantasm films. I was already aware of Don Coscarelli. I was a big fan of Bubba Hotep.
That's a good one. Yeah.
I love Bubba Hotep. And I'd seen is it Survival Quest, right?
Yep. Survival Quest.
And I like that. That was like a hidden gem.
Yeah.
That I didn't even know existed. And then I was like, oh, Don Coscarelli directed this movie? And I found it somewhere and I watched it. And I liked it. I've been a fan of Beastmaster since I was a kid.
Oh, yeah. Beastmaster. How do you not like Beastmaster?
Before I even knew Don Coscarelli was the director.
Yeah, I didn't find out
I
until
found
years
that
later.
out way later. I was like, oh, shit, that was Don Coscarelli.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm already a fan of his. plus, I knew this movie was coming out, so I was like, well, everybody's talking about the book, and it's Don Coscarelli doing the movie, so I'm going to read the book, and I loved it. Then I saw the movie, and I was kind of like, all right, it was okay, but there was so much more that the book had.
Yeah.
And that's the case with everything. It's just the way it is. They're two different animals, and you have to cut it back. You have to.
I think that's anyone who's read the book or whatever that something came from and then watches the movie. That's, I feel like 9 times out of 10 easily that's going to be your initial reaction.
Yeah.
Like, but it didn't have this.
I'll tell you where there's one exception. There are others, but one comes to mind immediately, and I was just thinking about this movie earlier, this movie and book, Jaws. That's a case where the movie is better than the book, for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For sure.
I've heard, I have never read the Jaws book, but I know people who have.
It's not that great.
No.
So wait, what makes it not great? Like, what it just
There's
kind
this
of,
whole thing where
it's flat?
like the mayor is kind of in the pocket to the mob.
Oh.
And that's why he's not shutting down the town or shutting down the beach, because then the mob's going to be after him. There's a subplot with Sheriff Brody's wife
And
knows
Richard Dreyfuss's
character from like when they were younger, and she goes and has this little fling with him.
Oh, jeez.
And he dies in the well, fuck it.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Does he die in the book? Fuck. Sorry.
Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah.
Ah. No, I'm just kidding.
I know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The
I'm never going to read the book.
point being, there's all these like subplots that just aren't necessary.
Well, you know what?
at
Good
all.
on Spielberg then for saying, look, I got enough fucking worries with this goddamn rubber shark.
Yeah.
Fuck these subplots.
But that's the thing. But
I'm going to just fucking
that's the thing between
simplify this.
A book and a film is a book can meander off and do things like that. Mm-hmm. A film can't. A film is a visual medium. You have to keep people's attention. A book can go and spend 3 chapters explaining a backstory about some guy's wart on his ass.
Yeah.
And then bring it back around.
And bring it back around.
No pun intended. So listen, so when you say keep people's attention, I think you're right.
And when you say wart on the ass, double right.
But I think it's deeper than that. It's not just keep their attention.
Well, I was
keep
saying.
them emotionally engaged.
Yeah.
And it's a real slippery slope. Like when you start talking about warts on the ass, you'll lose them quick.
Yeah, right.
So. Well, I'll tell you, in counter to that, I remember reading the Stand unabridged version.
Mm-hmm. That's the only version I've ever read. I've never read the abridged.
That's the only.
Wait, what's the difference?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I watched the unabridged version.
When that book first came out, the publishing company was like, "It's too long. You gotta cut it back." And he cut like a huge amount out of the book, like almost half.
Yeah.
No, not half, but a good like third of it.
So did you guys read the long version or the short version?
I've only ever read the long version.
Same here.
Oh, okay.
Like initially it was the shorter version, and then like a few years later they released his version that's hundreds of pages longer.
Okay. So and that's all you guys ever read?
Yes.
Yeah, but my thing is though, there's a part, and you feel free to get on our social media and tell me how much of a piece of shit I am for doing this, but they're feeling this way. But there was a part where when they got to them building the civilization. And them talking about their daily, dude, I was like fading out. It took me it was so hard to get past that point. Mm-hmm. Like I was like, fucking boring, dude. Get on with it.
Yeah, I don't know how much of that is.
Like it totally killed my Stan boner. I was into the story until I got to that part where they're rebuilding and they were talking about all that, and I was done. And then I think in the abridged version, I think all that was taken out.
That is something that's taken out.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, this is coming from someone who read 5 books. So
when I initially saw John Dies at the End, the film, I was a little disappointed. I still liked the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was like, it was good, but I think I had it built up in my head that it was going to be like mind-blowing. Mm-hmm. But on subsequent movie film viewings, my appreciation has grown like exponentially.
Yeah.
Now I love the film. I don't know if I can't probably say that I love it as much as Justin, and I don't think it's my favorite Don Coscarelli. I still think that's Bubba Hotep.
Yeah.
Because I just love that movie.
Really?
Yeah, I love that movie.
That's...
Well, it's Joe Lansdale.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of his.
And Bruce Campbell.
I need to watch it again because I do like that movie, and actually, the more I watched it a couple times, and I like it more and more each time I watch it. Like, part of my problem with that movie the first time I watched it is that it's very slow paced.
It is slower,
and I was like, oh my god, dude, this movie feels like it's like 3 hours long. However, the second time watching it, that puts me in. Like, he totally captured that feeling of being in an old folks home.
Yeah. And also...
Not that I've been in one, but that's what I imagine.
This may be a factor, but that's originally a short story.
Okay.
So, that may be you sensing the fact that it was kind of stretched out to feature length.
But I feel like where I first thought that was a problem... Subsequent viewing, it feels like it actually enhances the point of the story.
Sure.
Yeah.
So anyway, but I love John Dies at the end. It definitely the movie too.
And the film. Okay.
Yeah. No, the film absolutely.
Let's not confuse things here, Justin.
No.
The breakfast cereal.
I love the cast. I think the cast in this movie is like on point.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, everybody.
Based on what I read in the book, which was nothing, I think they nailed every character.
And they made, they tweaked things here and there. They changed a few things, and they left a lot of things out. So if you're listening to this and you're a fan of the movie, definitely check the book out. If you're someone who, if you enjoy reading, I know some people don't.
All right. So real quick. Been wanting to do that for like 10 minutes and I didn't want to interrupt.
Here's to Jeff.
So with that, I would like to rattle off some of my Pat's Points notes here.
Pat's Points.
Oh, thank you. Normally that's Justin's.
I know. I swung in there, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be you from now on because that was way better than mine.
That was bad.
I'm not trying to be.
It was no rendition of the Crying Game.
Oh yeah.
No.
That was your highlight.
That was pretty good. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to rattle off some of my notes. If you guys have anything to add, throw it out there. If not, we'll move on to the next note.
Okay.
Do it.
All right. So we'll just pump some of this out real quick. So him describing the coins in Paul Giamatti's pocket. The years
yeah.
So Three-Armed Sally and
when I want to play off of that.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying the what denominations of the coins and what years and blah blah blah, and then he's saying if you flip a coin, it'll be heads, tails, blah blah. He's like, I don't think I want to do that.
Yeah, I don't think I want to take the time to do it.
I don't.
Yeah. So Three-Armed Sally is John's band. And the song they were playing is Hair. I like the whole phantom limb concept. I've always been intrigued by that whole the phantom limb thing, which I can imagine what that must be like to lose a limb. Like, I feel for people who have to deal with that, but that's got to be fucking wild.
Yeah, that's got to be life-changing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess in the movie, the character Amy says it eventually goes away. That phantom limb feeling goes away, she says. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess
yeah, I think over time.
I guess it would.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I know this isn't the same by any level of losing a limb, but I definitely know I've grown my hair and cut it. I have long hair, short hair, long hair, short hair.
It's a difference.
And when I cut all my hair off, sometimes I still, for months, feel like I go like this to pull my I go like this to pull my hair out of the way, and there's nothing.
Yeah, I can actually back you up on that. Like, I normally like shave my head like shorn scalp.
Yeah.
If I let it grow out for like a couple months and then I shave it again, it's like a weird feeling. Like, where's my hair? Like, I sense it's there, but it's not there. Like, I'll go reach and I'm like, oh shit, bare scalp.
Yeah.
That's weird you do that, because I think you look good with hair.
The funny thing is, I think when I first started shaving my head, I think people liked it then. But now they like me more with hair. It's weird.
Yeah.
I've had a couple of like female coworkers say, no, don't shave your head. You look better with hair.
It's the world we live in.
It's weird. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, just weird. Angel hates it.
She hates your hair?
Yeah, she likes it shaved.
Oh, Sarah doesn't like my long hair. She likes it short.
Really?
Yeah, she hates it.
Really?
Absolutely hates it, yeah.
Amanda loves me anyway. She gets me.
That's horse shit. She's lying to you.
I'm just joking.
Your whole marriage is based on a foundation of lies. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
No, you're probably right.
No, absolutely not.
No,
She adored you.
I personally don't like my hair, and when I say my hair, it's really just kind of this fucking.
I believe. Yeah, I know.
It's this. I don't know. Like I'm being taunted by the gods. It's more of a joke.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. The hair's.
I mean, I literally put the pat in male pattern baldness.
You know what's funny though? Like growing up, you always had like real thick, lush like hair.
Yeah.
Like my hair, I've had long hair, but it's always been like.
My hair's
fine.
always like stringy.
Yeah.
Like my hair's real stringy and fine.
Same.
Where you always had this real thick, like vibrant, like lively hair.
And then your birthmark coloration. The little,
Oh yeah,
little patch.
I don't even know if that's still there.
Did that go away? It was
I
like
think so,
It was like
yeah.
a patch of gray or white
Yeah,
hair.
that was weird. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had that for a period, and then that's gone now.
It did go away.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting.
Well,
But this looks normal though. It's not like you have bad hair. It's
well,
like,
now it's kind of the new norm, but I'm going with it now. I kind of like it. I got to be honest. Do you have a minute? So
I'm not going anywhere.
yeah. So I'll make it quick. I think as anyone who's dealt with baldness, it can make you feel insecure. It can
Absolutely.
be
It's a change that is out of your control.
yeah, and you get sensitive and self-conscious about it.
That's why you have to take control and shave your head.
Yes. So I'm gonna be honest. Like there was a long time where I wore hats instead,
So did I.
and
Lame.
well, it is kind of lame.
Well,
It got old.
I always wore a hat anyway.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a big switch for
I
me.
did as well, but then what happened was I started getting into positions. There was a long period of time in my life where I filmed weddings.
Yeah.
And I got into a position where it's like, okay, I have a decision to make. I need to go film a wedding. I need to be respectful. So technically, I should not be wearing a hat. Where can I get away with wearing a hat? And in which style of hat can I wear? And I got into these kind of, what would you call them?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yarmulkes?
No, not yarmulkes. You know what I wear. What's
don't know what those
what are
are
they
called.
called?
Jeff cap?
Is that what they're called?
I'm trying to think what you wore.
They're
Was it
like-
with the button in the front.
Well, some of them have. The ones I have don't have the button, but yeah, some of them have the button in the front. It looks like Peaky Blinders.
That's a Jeff cap, right?
I don't.
I don't fucking
If you watch Peaky Blinders, it's those
I know
style
what
of
you're
hats.
talking
Where I literally, when I was dressed in like my suit with my vest
It looked
on
like
and my
part
hat,
of the outfit.
I look like I delivered newspapers in 1930.
You're a newsie.
Yeah,
Is that what newsies are? I don't know.
I don't know. So anyway,
You're newsy.
it created this conundrum for me because I constantly felt I had to think about my head wear, you know, and it's like, what the fuck am I doing? So finally, I just shaved it all off. I went for it, dude. I've never felt fucking better. Like
I've never fucked better.
that too.
You're more aerodynamic.
Dive right in.
Yeah.
No, but you know, it's like it
You
just
swim faster?
it eliminate. I do.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
Especially when
Speaking
I get
of
some greasy scalp going on.
speaking of Doug Jones, I'm like a sea creature.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyway, yes.
Yeah,
I don't even
dude,
know how we got to
I
this
totally
point.
just like, I was like, I'm just gonna shave my head one day.
I don't think I'm never not going to shave my head at this point. It just,
Yeah.
I don't like the fact, because my hair grows so quickly, I don't like the fact that I have to shave it like every 3 to 4 days.
It sucks.
But
It's a pain in the
once
ass.
it's done, and I'm getting quicker at the process. So anyway, I don't even know how the fuck we got
Yeah, I'm
here.
way quicker.
It doesn't matter. I'm way into it. Do you remember the time I shaved my head?
Hold him down. Let's shave him.
Do you remember the time I shaved my head, but I couldn't see the back, and I did such a bad job? I looked like Tommy Jarvis from Part 4. I had like chunks of hair just sticking everywhere.
Tommy Jarvis.
I had like in the front, I'm like, yeah, this looks good. And then I think people start coming like, no, you gotta fucking fix that shit. And
You shaved
basement-
your head?
Yeah, I was like, fuck. Like it was when I had short hair. I think it was when I moved back from Seattle. I had
You
short
like
hair
buzzed
anyway.
it?
I didn't buzz it all the way down, but I just took clippers and put like a 4 on it or something. Just buzzed everything off. I'm like, yeah,
There's just
That's
chunks
good.
of long hair.
yeah, but I guess in the back
You know
there's
what?
just
I
big
guess I do
patches I missed. And I
vaguely
couldn't see
remember
them, and I'm like lazy, so I'm like, that's good enough. And people are like, nah, that's not at all.
No, it's
You look
not
like a fucking moron.
Tommy.
You look like Tommy Jarvis from Part 4.
That's like the best description I can
Oh
think
my
of.
god.
The
Pat, what are your points?
Oh, hold on. There's another comparable story I have to that. Was when I was in the band Hallowed Cain, and for a period of time we had a drummer named Phil, and Phil showed up to practice one night, and I guess he shaved in the shower. He shaved his face in the shower. But I guess he started the process and then got sidetracked because he showed up to band practice with random patches of fucking hair all over his face. He looked like he got like something exploded in his face, and it only singed like hunks of hair, but not all of it.
Why didn't he just finish the job?
Well, he didn't know. He just was rushing along and then came up to band practice, and there was a period of time where Dana and I were like, should we say something? And then finally, I think like Mark, who played Congas, finally was
I
like,
love that guy.
Yo, what the fuck's going on with your face? I just kind of like just got to the point. Whereas Dane and I were like tiptoeing around.
Yeah.
But anyway, and then finally Phil was like, "Oh fuck, dude, I forgot to shave the rest."
Because he looked like he was a hairy dude anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. So let's rattle off some of these.
Yeah, let's get through these points.
Pat's points. All right. So Bratwurst phone. We touched on that. The bee analogy, which I thought was great, which is the Doug Jones character. Doug Jones, as Roger North says, things are in motion, and then he says, "They harvest insects here, do they not?"
Oh, yeah.
And then he says, do they know they make honey for you, or do they work tirelessly because they think it is their own choice?
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was a really cool little line.
While you're talking about that character, is that character in the book more? Because I feel like he kind of...
I don't remember.
He kind of comes and goes, and I feel like it kind of set him up, but he didn't really...
I feel like he was.
Well, he was that reveal at the end where he walks out from behind the thing.
But still, it was kind of anticlimactic. It was like, okay,
I feel like he is in the book more, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
No.
He's not a major character, that's for sure.
So, Robert Marley, we touched on him. Cool name.
Yeah, Robert Marley, Bob Marley, haha. That's what he says in the movie, or something like that.
But,
you know... Give me a beer, man!
Yeah. But I feel, you want to know something? I feel like Robert Marley is a MacGuffin. He is a character that pushes along this whole story, and we know a bit about him, but not much.
Yeah.
We know there's more to him.
Yeah.
I do. That guy had such a small part in the movie, but it's so impactful.
That's just it.
Really
That's why I think he can kind of be chalked up as a MacGuffin.
Sure.
Then that whole, like you said, this story about like
the dream with the lightning.
The dream with the lightning is very interesting. It's like how did your brain know that the lightning was striking? Sorry, that's a terrible accent. But like, imagine in your head that I said that better.
Yeah. Auto tune that to be accurate. So there's no money in the bratwurst. As he
that was great. That's such a simple touch. That was funny. He's like, look, there's no money here.
There's no money in here. I like Detective Lawrence Appleton.
Yeah, he's great.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Larry Appleton.
Cousin Larry Appleton.
But did he also have, what was his full name? That character's full name. I feel like it was, hold on, let me...
Detective Cousin Larry Appleton?
No.
Now we are so happy. We do the dance of joy.
Yeah.
Get out of the city.
Get out of the city.
Oh, what a great show.
Lawrence Morgan Freeman Appleton.
Is it really?
Yeah. Lawrence Morgan Freeman Appleton.
Did you say that in the movie?
Well, it's in. I've read it. I saw it somewhere. It's in the character profiles for this film.
Okay.
Lawrence Morgan Freeman Appleton, and apparently that's what. I don't know. You read the book. You tell me.
Years ago, man.
Okay.
Years ago.
So anyway, yeah, Larry Appleton. What else we got here in Pat's points? Bark Lee, the dog.
As himself.
Which was changed. It was actually it was like a girl's name.
In the book.
In the book, yeah, and they changed it to...
Was it a boy dog? Or is it a girl dog?
That I don't know. I'm not sure.
Here's the other thing they touch on. What do you guys think about when Dave is being interviewed by the detective? He is told, or at least it's mentioned, that there is that rave overdose that happened the night of reality, but I feel is the only real night of the whole film.
Yeah.
What did you take out of that? Did you think there was anything of substance there that they mentioned this rave overdose?
I think that just shows that it's not in their imagination. That there was a real life
This
context.
drug is really...
And not only that they just dismissed it as like, oh, it's just a rave overdose. And there's not but the rest of the story that we're seeing is there's much more to it. There's a multi-dimensional topless element to it.
So I know we already talked about Coscarelli and his impact on film, but he also did the premiere episode of Masters of Horror.
Yeah, Incident on and Off a Mountain Road, which was also written by Joe Lansdale.
I didn't see that one.
Okay.
It's a Joe Lansdale story as well, yeah. Oh, that's good. I like that one. Angus Scrimm is also in that.
Nice.
Yep.
How about that young girl with the missing eye? That was kind of freaky. The one where he cuts he's like in this barren wasteland and she's walking by and turns her head. We talked about the Justin character.
Yep. Shitload.
I liked that whole scene when he's like sitting there and then he shoots him.
Yeah.
It was kind of creepy. The eye pop. That's the detective. His his eyes just pop out of his head.
Yes,
that was a really cool
and
scene.
It explodes.
Yeah. I do like to backtrack a little bit in the police station when Dave is being interviewed. John calls him and then he says, "Is there any way you can steal my body?"
Yeah.
I thought that was good.
Yeah.
Of course not. You're in a police station.
Yeah. The shotgun headshot. I forget his character's name. They blow his head off when he's walking away. They're outside the mall.
Well, it's funny when John comes to when they're in the truck. He's like, "Are we on our way to the mall or back from the mall?" And he's like, "We're on our way to the mall." He's like, "Oh, that's right, because what's his name?
What's his face is still
Fred's still alive."
Oh.
And he's like, "What?"
Yeah. And then he's infected with those bugs.
Yeah.
Dave tells him to go flag down a car.
Yeah, he's like, it's Dave's like, "Oh, why don't you go check out and flag down a car?" He's like, "Yeah, it's a great idea." And he turns around and he blows his head off.
Blows his head off, yeah.
Like a country radio station, it's out there even if you don't tune into it. Mm-hmm. That was another good line.
Yeah. About the other realm, dimension, parallel realm.
We already talked about Amy's hand, the phantom limb, the ghost door. I thought that was a cool little thing where she had to take her rubber hand off
and use her phantom
limb to open the door. Oh, the masks that are worn at the end there.
Yeah.
That we see them right here on the screen now. We have the film playing in the background. Does anybody know where those masks are? Where they're used in another pop culture thing? Maybe not so much.
Eyes Wide Shut.
Pop culture thing. No.
No, I don't know.
This is right up my alley. You guys might not even know.
Primus.
Yeah.
Oh,
Les Claypool's Fungi Ensemble wears them.
Okay.
And in fact, I saw them at Bonnaroo, Les Claypool, with that Fungi Ensemble, and the three other guys in the band at the time, they all wear those exact masks, which is kind of wild.
Interesting.
So, shout out Les Claypool.
Something about that scene, too, with where they're on the church and they have the mask on and everything. I was debating whether I was going to bring this up or not, but I will. Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of topless people there. Mm-hmm. And one thing I like that they did is as you're looking across these topless people,
the ocean of topless
there's
people.
all these different shapes and sizes of people.
Yeah.
I didn't want to turn it into a perv sesh, but like...
It's a nice variety.
Yeah, I like the fact that it just shows these different shapes.
Yeah.
Like there's
they're not all like...
Yeah, like perfect image. Like I love the fact that it just shows you that there's like all
this variety of
like no one has to look the same. It's all beautiful. You know what I mean? Like we can cut that out.
It's kind of interesting too rainbow. Because it takes away all their faces.
Yeah.
But it gives their body an identity almost.
So what did you? So that's about the men. What did you think about the women?
Oh, was there women? I didn't even know.
I'm just kidding. So
no, you can leave it out.
Anyway, okay. So the soy sauce. Did we even mention soy sauce in this entire episode?
I
think it was brought up. The soy sauce. I think once or twice we mentioned it.
I do think it needs to be brought up.
The soy sauce is the drug in the film, which I hope by this point you've seen the film.
Yeah, okay. So again, to tie back into my theory that there's only one scene that actually happens in this movie, there's a point where they're referencing the soy sauce and they say it bites. And again, that ties back into the the hand getting bitten by the dog.
Oh yeah.
Robert Marley gets his hand bitten by the dog in the very beginning. Another thing is and this might come across as reaching to some, and maybe it is, but the band itself was called Three Arm Sally.
Three Arm Sally.
And there's that one point in the police station where Dave rips the arm off of that security guy, and then he's got the three arms around him as he runs out of the room.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just felt there were so many little elements you could kind of like convince yourself, hey, that's kind of like, it's just hinting at things to come.
I mean, it may be there.
In closing, I have this quote here, which kind of summarizes my thoughts on the film. Quote, I think stuff is very real and not real at the same time. And that's pretty much
Prophetic.
it. Yeah. So anyway, with that said, on a scale of 1 to 10 MacGuffins, 10 being the best, how would you guys rate this film? So Mike, since this was your selection, I'll toss it over to you to begin.
I'm going to give it... Man, it's hard. These ratings are such a bitch.
Yeah, I hate them. I try to just throw numbers at them.
I'm going to give it a...
Whoa.
Windstorm. I'm going to give it a 7.8. It's a flawed film, but it's a very enjoyable film. And it almost like, and Justin, you touched on this earlier, how it does feel like there's a segment missing.
Yeah.
It does feel that way. And that's, it's low budget. I'm sure they had time constraints and budgetary constraints and all that hoopla that filmmakers have to deal with. But overall, as a finished product, I really enjoy this film. I genuinely do.
Yeah.
But 7.8.
Okay. Justin?
Man, I don't know. I think I'm just going to throw an 8.4 out because I really enjoy it. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I love Don Coscarelli's films. And one thing I like about what he does is, and I think I read somewhere that he never even went to film school.
Oh, no shit.
That he just it's just something he does, and he makes these independent films that I feel like growing up I didn't know were independent films.
Yeah.
And I just think he has a sense of fun and adventure and just and if you look at his credits, he doesn't have a whole lot of films under his belt. And I think we didn't even talk about the films that which I can't remember off the top of my head now, that he was optioned to direct that he didn't.
Wow, that never came to fruition.
Yeah. But I don't know, it's fun. I think one thing, and this is I'm gonna bring Sarah into this. Her problem is she loves the beginning of this movie.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
And the end of the movie, she just totally checks out. She's like, and I feel like this happens a lot, especially in the Phantasm series. There's a lot of CGI later on.
Yeah.
And it just it just takes away. Which is not to crap on CGI too much, but just everything good that's happening. I just feel like his movies deserve. His movies deserve to have people throwing more money at them. You know what I mean?
I totally agree with
to
that.
bring these visions to life, and it
Totally
just feels
agree.
I feel like I'm being robbed, and also not to dump on the people that put hard work into making the CGI happen that worked in here, but I just feel like. I feel like if he got a fraction of the money that a lot of these top end Hollywood guys get to make fucking the same shit we see every year, we could get some really legendary stuff, some really good stuff, because there's great ideas. Plus I always I'm a rock guy. I feel like Don Coscarelli, there's always this rock and roll element to a lot of his stuff. Too, even in Phantasm, that's one thing I like. It's Reggie and God, why am I drawing a blank on his name? Jody, Mike.
Yeah. Jody and
Reggie. Yeah, they're even playing guitar.
They're jamming. Yeah,
they're jamming, and I think Jody actually was
I think that was a genuine little moment.
Yeah, and I think Jody actually went on the guy Jody went on to have a music career and stuff.
Okay.
So I think he's definitely in a lot of the same stuff I'm into.
Right.
So I don't know. Like I said, there was a lot of.
So the budget on this one what was it? Under $1 million?
I don't know. You tell me. You're looking at it.
Am I? I can't find
Well,
it.
I'm not.
I feel like
I'm looking at you. And the budget is not on you.
I'm intrigued by what the budget was. Because, yeah, I feel the same way. I would think by this point, Coscarelli would have, like, you know, the financial backing. I mean, look at the cast here. And the fact that Paul Giamatti was, like, all in on this.
Yeah, budget less than $1 million.
Less than $1 million.
Yeah.
And when you think about it, for less than $1 million, what
he
you
made
got
this?
from this,
That's
Yeah.
even more respectable. There's a lot on screen.
Yeah.
For that amount of money. There
Well,
really is.
It just goes to show you the stuff that you don't have to pay for.
Yeah.
Like the script, I thought was good. The dialogue was good.
Yeah.
The acting was good.
Yep.
Barkley was awesome.
Yeah, Barkley.
Robert Marley.
Oh, see, Bark Lee. Their last name is Lee.
Yeah.
Lee. Yeah.
I definitely enjoyed this film more so the second time around than the first time around. The first time around, I was a little... It was not remotely what I was expecting. And keep in mind, I did not read the book.
Yeah.
I just thought it was going to be something totally different. And the fact that it went down this crazy dimensional alien creature kind of... It was not what I was expecting.
There's like supernatural ghost and stuff.
Yeah.
There's like other planetary stuff. There's
Yeah.
like sci-fi elements. Yeah.
So the second time around, I was kind of prepared and I dove into it a little differently. I still think I'm not where you guys are at. So, and this is no knock on Coscarelli, who I definitely respect. I mean, his name carries a large weight in this film genre.
Absolutely.
And I respect that. But for me personally, with this one, I'm kind of like, I'm at like a 5.5 kind of situation.
Yeah.
So
hey, that's
You sound really sad when you
I
say
am
that.
sad. I am. Like, I don't want to be that guy that
No,
gives this
be
a
that
5.5, but I got to follow my gut here, and that's kind of where I'm at with this one.
You're calling it how you see it. You're being true to yourself, and you're not being mean about it. What
Yeah.
else can you? What else can anyone ask for?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But again, I will say, and I do believe that if I were to rate this after my first viewing, it would have been lower. You know, and I think it was in my second viewing, having kind of gotten a taste for what I was into, and then being able to pay attention to like the finer details and try to figure out what I missed the first time around. And I was still left with many questions. And I think that's why I was kind of riding you guys earlier about like, what does it mean? You know, like...
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't think it... to me personally, I don't think it means anything. I just think it's just
means,
ride.
Yeah, just do drugs and check out. That's all it is.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Perhaps.
Maybe I'm
I don't
wrong.
know.
Maybe I'm just not seeing
No, I don't know
past
either.
the layers.
I just love the adventure that I went on
Yeah,
on it.
me
You know,
too.
I almost wanted this to be either a mini series or like, because they, you know, even the ending alludes that there's more to it.
I know, yeah.
Though character development wise, I could see that kind of running out of steam quickly. You know,
Unless it was like a one season thing.
yeah, like a one
Like a limited series.
yeah, like
like,
a 5 episode thing or something.
5 to 7 episodes and just...
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, so this one has an average for us of, let me see here, 7.23.
That's fair.
So, and our overall average right now, since we've been rating, is, I will tell you momentarily, 7.38. So we're kind of like right in that mid 7-ish range.
We're in the pocket, is what you're saying.
Yep.
Industry term.
Oh, hold on. Actually, no, I'm wrong.
Wow.
7.37.
You're fired.
All right. Any final thoughts before we shut it down?
I want to see a sequel.
Do you? You
I
think
do.
they're going to make one?
No,
They're not?
I don't think so. I don't. To me, I don't think
Justin, final thoughts?
so. I mean, well, Don Coscarelli tried to make a sequel to Bubba Hotep for years.
Yeah,
and
what was that? I forget what it was. It was
I
like,
forget what it was called.
yeah, I was.
But it just never happened. I think at one point, wasn't like Ron Perlman going to play
I can see that.
the Elvis character? Because I guess Bruce Campbell at a certain point was just out.
No, I don't.
really?
I don't think it was Elvis' character. It was somebody else.
He's playing somebody
completely,
else.
Yeah.
But either way, he tried to get that going for years, and it just never happened. And a movie like this, I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I already gave my rating, but when I heard the title, John Dies at the End, having not read the book, the title to me spoke to me differently. And that's okay. Like, I'm okay with titles not necessarily like, giving me, concrete information. But when I saw the film, it was like way in another direction from where I was expecting.
See, I was already prepared. Well, obviously because I read the book.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, even seeing I saw the trailer for the movie.
Yeah.
Because I had already read the book, and then I saw the trailer because I was excited for the movie. I was like, I want to watch the trailer, and I was like, okay, it looks like the book.
Yeah.
To me.
All right. Well, fellas, always a pleasure.
Is it though?
It is a pleasure.
Most of the time, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
Always a good time.
Always.
So to anyone listening at this point, we thank you for being a member of the Guild. And as always, please continue to follow us on our social media. Be a part of this. We want to hear from you. We will give you shout outs, and we mean that. So hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Discord. Although if you do Discord, you might have to then hit us up on another site to make sure that we find you. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm on Discord every day.
I'm just kidding. I know. Just teasing.
And none of you are.
Yeah.
As hard as it is for me to understand Instagram, Discord is on a whole other level.
Mike's going to have to take a class.
Anybody teaching Discord lessons?
I'm looking at you, Film Overload. I'm just kidding. That's the only one I remember.
Yeah. Not Overlord.
Not Overlord.
Yeah.
Overload.
Although there probably is a film Overlord.
Oh, I'm sure. But, okay, fellas, always a pleasure. Thank you. As always. And, we'll see you next time.
Okay.
Peace.
Feliz Navidad.
See yous.
I raised you better than this.
Do you remember the time I shaved my head, but I couldn't see the back, and I did such a bad job, I looked like Tommy Jarvis from Part 4? I had like chunks of hair just sticking everywhere.